Hey everybody, and welcome to the 2011 Year in Review for Gospel. I'm Dewayne Benton.
And I'm Tracy Bethea.
And Tracy, I know you are the lady for what's going on the gospel tip.
Ooh, it's been a good 2011.
So let's start off talking about this year in gospel. It's been different. Normally we know the Kirk Franklins and the Yolanda Adams and all those names, but it's been a different year for a lot of unknowns.
It's been an exciting year. Usually you would hear of the Fred Hammonds, the Kirk Franklins that would stay hot on the charts. But there are new names that you heard quite a bit on the radio and new names that were top on the gospel charts. For instance, James Fortune and Fire.
Yeah, James Fortune had some great hits.
Had a great 2011. What about Ernest Pugh?
I Need Your Glory.
Yes, right here out of the city of Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And what about Leandria Johnson?
And Leandria Johnson is like the soul singer from the 70s who was reborn again in 2011. I don't know, but I love her music.
She actually made her way into the hearts of America through BET's Sunday Best.
Yeah, and now she's been nominated for a Grammy.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Leandria.
William McDowell.
Oh, yes.
Mr. New Praise and Worship Leader.
Myself away. Oh, what about Isaac Caree?
Yeah, in the middle. Now, Isaac, of course, is not new to the industry. He's just new as a solo artist. Yeah. So we're excited about his career as well. And so many other names in gospel for 2011 that have really just staked their place in the industry. And we'll see the results, of course, in the Stellars coming in 2012.
Absolutely. But there's another young man that we are definitely familiar with his name. He made a live recording that was very special. I'm speaking of Verity Gospel recording artist, Pastor Marvin Sapp.
Yeah, Marvin Sapp. Of course, we know he had a really rough 2010 and 11 with the passing of his wife, Dr. Melinda Sapp. And so Dr. Sapp, Marvin, got back in the studio, or actually got back in front of a live audience and recorded his latest endeavor.
Marvin personally told me that his wife would always tell him and their family to let's keep it moving. And so he did just that with a live recording that will feature a song that I'm sure the first single, My Testimony, and I'm sure that it's going to be a hit song for Marvin for 2012.
Now, I know you do have a personal relationship with Marvin. His kids are doing things like writing books and stuff.
Absolutely. They're staying quite busy as well. And he says that's exactly what his wife would have wanted.
So look for some more things from the Sapp family. That's coming real soon.
Also, we want to talk about heading to Hollywood. Yes, Gospel Made Hollywood, as BB and CeCe Winans
got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Okay, what's the deal here? But I'm happy for him.
Absolutely. Well, Mahalia Jackson has one, and there are a couple of other gospel artists, but Andre Crouch. Definitely BB and CeCe deserve their star.
Yeah, excited for them. A Hollywood Walk of Fame star for BB and CeCe.
Right now, I feel like the boogeyman is going to jump out the bushes and grab me, because it's nothing that I think you do to earn this.
I thank my brother and my duet partner, BB, for making great music and great memories. It's been an honor. It's been fun. It's been exciting. It's been frustrating. It's been crazy, but it's been wonderful.
Well, Dewayne, let's talk about gospel music. We've talked about the standouts and great things that have happened for 2011, but what exactly were the top 10 gospel songs for 2011?
Nobody greater than you. Searched all over, couldn't find nobody. I looked high and low, still couldn't find.
I tell you, we are really excited to share with you all of the great things that happened for 2011. We talked about music standouts, but what about how did the social media play into the realm of gospel? It had a big success. People are now buying gospel music through their cell phones, iTunes. the iHeartRadio, where you can listen to your favorite gospel station anytime you want, wherever you want.
I love that.
Amazing.
And now, you got thousands of you out there who are gospel music lovers following Kirk Franklin's and James Fortune and
Through
Isaac
Twitter.
Curry. Right, Twitter and Facebook. So, I've even got, I know you got quite a few friends. I'm not up to you yet, but I'm working on my friends. Dewayne, Benton. Okay.
But it allows gospel music to move forth.
It does.
When you can let gospel artists and tweet and let them know what you're doing. And it definitely did a big play as far as boasting and boosting the sales of gospel music.
Mm-hmm.
So hats off to you. If you're not connected to Twitter and Facebook, gospel is on the move. You need to get on board.
Get connected. Let's move on now. Sunday Best.
Oh, yes. Sunday Best was definitely a huge success for gospel music being moved into the forefront. Its fourth season, which had a very great lineup, but there was a little controversy when you talk about those last two contestants, Amber Bullock and Andrea Helms.
Yeah, it was a kind of a controversy because a lot of people felt that Andrea Helms was the better singer, and because she was white, they didn't think that she was going to get treated fairly. But I actually had a chance to talk with Amber Bullock over the phone, and she sort of, spoke to that situation and says, hey, there's no rift with me and Andrea Helms.
The votes count, okay?
Right.
The votes count. So I'm not taking anything away from Andrea because she is definitely anointed. But you better believe that Amber Bullock is definitely anointed too. Because to whom much is given, much is required. God would never put me in this type of position if I was not ready for it. God would never have put me in this type of position if he didn't think that I could handle everything that comes with it, especially comments as those. So, to make it all plain and simple, well, I know what God has for me. God is doing so much for me. God has done so much for me. God put me in this position, and I'm not going to let him down, no matter what that particular person may think, because many do not think that Andrea should have won, because if many thought that many would have voted for her. And she would be the winner.
Thanks, Amber. And you know what? She has her first single already, which happens to be a remake of Bishop Walter Hawkins' Thank You.
And it's sitting atop of the Billboard charts as we're recording this segment.
Go ahead, Amber.
All right, so let's continue on now. Season 5. Now, we actually thought Season 4 was not going to happen, but it did. And there was talk that Mary would not be back, but they did come back. What about Season 5?
Season 5 will be in full effect, but word has it that Mary will not be judging next year.
We've heard that before. We'll see. But, hey, they got some other things going on, right?
Absolutely. Should I say?
Please tell the people.
Listen, Mary has a brand new reality TV show that will start in March of 2012 on WeTV. They'll be following Mary around, and you'll find out how they balance their careers and their home life.
Tina, behave. That's all I can say. Behave, Tina. All
but
right.
I do want to say that BET Sunday Best had a special part in my heart because for the fourth season, yours truly was a preliminary judge.
Yes.
Oh, before you got to Mary or Donnie McClurkin, you had to come through me. And wow, did we not have some amazing talent. So I'll see you for Season 5.
Hey, Tracy, do you remember that in your room during the preliminary judging stages, you had Elder Goldwire McClendon's son who auditioned in front of you?
He sure was. Absolutely. It was some amazing talents that passed through my room, and I was just excited to be a part. Can't wait to be a part of Season 5.
Let's talk about movies as far as gospel-wise. What movies really reach the heart of the gospel community?
People are really wanting the Christian community to sanction their events, their properties, things that they do. And we saw that very much so with the movie The Help that was truly hitting theaters across the world, across the nation, and also BET's Read Between the Lines.
Malcolm Jamal Warner and Tracy Ellis Ross.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we're finding that these companies in the media, television, and film, they're wanting to reach out to churches to get them to be in support of shows and movies that promote healthy family values and healthy, good Christian living. And you know what? It's paying off at the box office.
Truly needed, much needed. So we had movies that come out like The Grace Card with Louis Gossett Jr.
Absolutely.
This movie was actually filmed in Memphis, correct?
Sure, absolutely.
And it reached a lot of people. It's out on DVD right now. And other movies, of course, we know Tyler Perry always reaches out to a gospel audience with his latest movie. And I think he had a Christmas one that recently come out.
Yes, he did. He
I
did.
haven't seen it, but I know you guys probably got it in your collection already. So good movies to catch for the holiday season. That'll encourage you as well.
Well, not only was there a big year for 2011 in gospel on a high note, but Dewayne, there were also a frown upon the gospel community with a lot of stories that made headline news. In the gospel industry.
Yeah, and let me start off with number one, which I'm sure you all know, Bishop Eddie Long.
This particular story continues even now to unfold. Month after month after month, there were just new turns and twists to the alleged sexual misconduct that young men have come forth and said that was against Bishop Eddie Long.
Yeah, and I will say this now. This is just all Dewayne's opinion. I've always said that if you believe in something, never settle. I've always said that. But the bishop did settle this allegation lawsuit against him and paid money to these 5 alleged victims. And since then, a lot of things have happened. The decline in the church ministry has happened. Also, recently we learned that his wife, they have been separated. Now she has filed for divorce. And that was truly a whirlwind situation. One day she filed, one day she changed her mind, the very next day she filed again. So it's been crazy. And in the meantime, recently, as of December 2011, this month, we've learned that as of after the Christmas holiday, his academy, his school, is closing.
And not only that, you saw a lot of people from Sherry Shepherd to even Bishop Paul S. Morton that spoke out against Bishop Eddie Long.
And asked him to repent. That's what they wanted. So anyway, those are the stories, especially revolving around Bishop Eddie Long. Another story that captivated the world was a mega pastor. He was seen on TBN, Zachary Timms.
Absolutely. Pastor Zachary Timms out of Florida, I believe.
He's out of Florida, right.
Had a huge congregation.
8,000.
8,000 members. And I think his membership grew and his ministry grew because he was keeping it real, pastor that really told about how he himself had been delivered through drugs and things of that nature, but was found dead in a New York hotel room. Also said to believe, well, do we really know? See, that's the twist of the story.
We really don't know because there was allegations that there was some sort of powdery substance found in his pocket. And so as media does, like they always do, they wanted to know what was the cause of death. So his mother, Madeline Timms, went to court in New York to try to have that information sealed. In the court documents, it was reported that she said this would be an embarrassment to her family, to his legacy, and to the church. They did not want the information out. So what has happened or what happened to him, we don't know yet because that information still has not been released. In the meantime, as far as the church is concerned, New Destiny Church, there's been another struggle going on.
Absolutely. Struggle over who will carry on as pastor of the church.
Now, according to sources and, of course, media outlets, the members want his ex-wife, Reva Timms, to take over this ministry.
Some of the members.
Some of the members, yeah. They want them, but according to other sources, the church has settled and agreed on Paula White as the new pastor. It's still unfolding. Another story. You got to just keep watching to see what will happen in 2012. So again, we continue to pray for the New Destiny family. They are yet mourning their pastor. He was a great man. He did a lot of great work, and we all are human. When it's all said and done. That goes for Eddie Long and Dewayne, Benton, and Tracy. But we're all human.
Absolutely.
And we all make mistakes, but God is yet the judge of all of us.
Absolutely. Another great story. Well, it was a great story in the fact that I love the CD.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know I love Kim Burrell's new CD, The Love Album. It's got her a Grammy nod, but do you know church folk were, I guess, hating on Kim. It all started with the first single of the CD, Sweeter. Kim,
video.
right? Kim made a video, a beautiful video of being out on the ocean on a beautiful yacht and out at this beautiful home, and she came out on the balcony.
You're ahead of yourself. Go back to the beginning before she got on the yacht. She was in the bed.
Well,
with that on. Tell that part.
The part that people are talking about was when she came out on the balcony in a beautiful white silk gown.
Laying in the bed, rubbing the beautiful sheets and all that.
I would rub 800 count sheets as well.
But not on the camera. Okay. Anyway.
That was the controversy.
This is why there is difference in opinions. Okay. So.
But you know what? Kim Burrell had a comment. She was like, what is the big deal about the Sweeter video? Personally, I loved it. But check out what Kim had to say.
Of course they did. You know, unfortunately in the Christian world, we don't give ourselves opportunities to do anything except for what we do inside the church.
Help us.
And people that are not familiar with what the work is out in the highways and hedges, they don't have compelling power. And the unfortunate thing is that they have made it a practice to recycle what they're used to, because they're not trusting God on a level to expand them and expand their minds and kind of stretch them out to do the full and complete work of the Lord, till they become critical of what they don't understand. You know, my thing is this: I haven't heard a lot of criticism, but some of the pointed out criticism about the video is the scene of me in the nightgown. I don't know what other people go to bed in, but maybe some people say, you're not supposed to expose. Well, there was no parts of my body showing. It was a beautiful gown. I think everybody should go online and see it. They just added it to VH1. They just added the BET Centric.
Wonderful.
So we're excited. We're excited about the doors that God's opening for it. I wish that those who are critical of it could just find something else to do that would be productive, other than waiting on other productive people to do things and then them be critical. I understand that's what they do, but it's okay. I'm good. I'm okay with it.
All right, Kim, I'll accept and receive that. Thank you for sharing that. And I do want to say this. She also is pastoring her own church in Houston, Texas, Love and Liberty Fellowship Church. So, Pastor Kim Burrell, God bless you.
I love you, Kim. Well, as we just about wrap up the great and wonderful things of 2011 that deals with the gospel industry, we also had to say goodbye to some powerful people that truly blessed our lives.
Yeah. Of course, we know the great legendary writer and gospel singer Jesse Dixon passed away.
I Know What Prayer Can Do. That was my favorite song from him.
Dolores Barrett Campbell.
Oh, yes. When you talk about traditional quartet women, she and her sisters, the Barrett Singers, they have been blazing up stages for years. And we were sad to hear in the passing of Sister Dolores.
I'll fly away. And finally, we remember one of Bobby Jones' legendary gospel choir singers from the Nashville Super Choir.
Absolutely. She also did television. And speaking of Emily Harris, we lost her in December of 2011, and we definitely want to wish Bobby Jones and the Nashville Super Choir our prayers and condolences.
Yeah. So as we wrap up the year in review for 2011, some great things are coming 2012. My goodness, just around the corner, we're in Nashville, Tennessee for the 27th Annual Stellar Awards.
Absolutely, and much love to 95.7 Hallelujah FM, up for Radio Station of the Year.
Yay, I love that. And we'll also be there broadcasting live, so you can tune in and catch our live coverage. We'll be at the BMI celebration, which will be honoring
Kirk Franklin and Bishop Hezekiah Walker.
Let's talk about Hezekiah Walker. We forgot to mention that Bishop Hezekiah Walker recently was installed as a bishop of his denomination.
Absolutely. Based out of New York, Bishop Hezekiah Walker, I believe he has one church in about
15.
12 locations. Hats off to Bishop Hezekiah Walker.
And finally, also got to remember this one also. Rance Allen is now a bishop in the Church of God in Christ.
Absolutely.
You That I Trust. I love that song.
Oh, yeah, that's a great song featuring Paul Porter. It's really been a good 2011 for the gospel music industry.
Yeah, I'm excited about 2012. Some great things are jumping off already.
Yeah.
Grammys. I'm hopefully.
Well, you know, the Stella Awards will be hosted this year by Dorinda Clark Cole
And Marvin Sapp.
Absolutely. And then from the Stella Awards, we've got the Grammys.
Celebration of Gospel.
Celebration
from
of
BET.
Gospel coming up. And also Kurt Carr celebrating 20 years in the gospel music industry.
Yes, yeah.
He's got a great tribute that will take place in Memphis, Tennessee.
And I understand there are some names in the industry that are just coming out to just shower him with love. Judy McAllister. Yeah.
Absolutely. When you think about Kurt Carr and his music ministry, there's so many people in the industry that love Kurt.
Yeah.
So when you talk about a star-studded event, Judith Christy McAllister, Tremaine Hawkins, Jay Moss, Donald Lawrence, Kim Burrell, Richard Smallwood, and many, many, many more. Kathy Taylor. And it's going to be hosted by Beverly Crawford.
My goodness, it's going to be church showing up for real. Memphis, Tennessee. You can, of course, go to 95.7's website, which is www.hallelujahfm.com for all the information on this 20-year celebration for Kurt Carr right here in Memphis, Tennessee. We got to get out of here. It's been fun.
It's been great. We definitely want to wish and inspire you and yours to have an awesome 2012.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.